Welcome back to Money Man Majid, everybody. Boys and girls, I've got a very exciting one for you today. I met this very interesting man. He goes by the Monk, and he has been traveling the United States for 18 years with a few mules and himself. And that's all he has. He packs very lightly. He's living outdoors. He's just living off the land. Now, this interview was done late in the evening. It was kind of very last minute planned. Towards the end, it starts to get dark in the video just because the sun's going down and we don't have too much light. We're hoping that we can do another video later on after this one as well. A second interview where we can dive deeper and get additional questions answered. Hopefully you enjoy this video. We're going to get started, but I need some help from you as well. First, if you can take your fingers and the mouse, go down to the bottom, maybe it's down here or down here, wherever it is on your screen, and hit that thumbs up button for me. And I promise you, once you hit that thumbs up, and with the YouTube algorithm working in our favor, that video is going to start immediately. So go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for us. Hit that subscribe button for us, and let's get started. Welcome everybody back to the channel. This is Money Man Majid. Right here, we've got an interesting gentleman named the Mule. That's what you go by, correct?
Mule or Monk?
Mule or Monk?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you choose these names, and what got you started on this journey?
Well, I choose the names because I live with these mules. I'm with them 24 hours a day. They become my whole life. Without them, I would have no life. So I consider myself to be a mule. And then the Monk is I live, for the most part, solitary. I spend all day walking and contemplating as I walk along about what I'm surrounded by and how it affects me and how I affect it. And so that's sort of what a monk does, and that's sort of what I do.
Okay, all right, well that's very interesting. Where did you originally start your journey?
Well, I got my first mule, I bought my first mule up in Spokane. And that was back in '84. And I came down the Pacific Crest Trail with that mule, got down to California, and I've been going ever since.
Okay. And what really sparked your interest in doing a mule or just doing like a non-stop travel? Because before we started recording, you mentioned 18 years you've been on the road, give or take a couple years. But
right.
Before that, you were traveling.
Yeah, well, the first years, I was still working.
Okay.
I trimmed trees for 30 years. So I'd work in the summers. I work in the wintertime and early spring. And then there was no point. I didn't have a wife or kids. I didn't have any debt or anything. So there was no point working all year long. So I'd go backpacking for the summer out in the wilderness areas. And I'd see these mule trains go by. And I always enjoyed watching them. And so just sort of little light went on and said, why don't I get a mule? It'd probably make my life a lot easier than carrying the stuff on my back. And so I did, and it did make my life a lot better, a whole lot better. And so here we are today.
I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how do you finance something like this? Because you've been on the road for 18 years, and people still need money to buy food, to have your daily necessities. How are you financing this?
Right. Well, I get Social Security. I get $284 a month. And then we've got the Facebook page, which gives us a tremendous amount of, what the word is, I guess would be notoriety. And we get tremendous support from the public. People donate food, basically whatever we need.
Okay.
The support we're getting for this journey to keep us going, people appreciate seeing somebody out here all day, every day like this, and they want to see it continue.
Yeah.
And so they give us basically whatever we need to do that.
And because you're getting all the support and you've got a message behind your journey. What's the message you're trying to share with the world around this journey?
Well, we live outside. We don't live in a house. We don't live in a car. We don't drive cars. We don't seek that kind of life. We seek the outside life, living with respect and reverence for the outside, for the natural world. And we show that every day, as much as anybody can in this day and age. We're not hunting and gathering. We're just walking. But we're walking on the ground. We sleep on the ground. We fix our meals on the ground. And we're showing people it's very enjoyable. Anybody that meets us knows that I'm not suffering. I'm not unhappy. I'm not seeking escape by drugs or alcohol or anything else. I'm not seeking escape from where I find myself. I enjoy it. And so we're showing people that, and they appreciate it.
You've probably had some challenges along the way too. Could you tell us a little bit about the challenges you faced along the way?
Well, the biggest challenge is all these laws. Just walking down the road, like earlier today, we were coming up Poway Road. It's a narrow 2-lane road. All these roads, once you leave the valleys, when you make your way up into the hills and up into the mountains, they're all dangerous. There's no such thing as a safe road. They're too narrow, they're too smooth and fast, and the motorist has no respect for anybody walking, riding a horse, etc. And then the police, they're what's the word? They're assigned to prevent accidents, keep things safe, and they immediately perceive us as being unsafe, but we're not. The opposite is true. The motorist, this high-speed motorist that won't slow their vehicles, refuses to do so, is very unsafe. They're dangerous, and they kill each other all the time. I got over 200 pictures of memorials that we pass on the side of the road. Now, we haven't killed anybody. We move at 2 and 3 miles an hour. We haven't killed a soul. I've been in California for going on 9 years, and we haven't caused any accidents. We haven't killed anybody. And for the police officers to claim that we're unsafe and let the motorists go by the speed limit, one right after the next, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah. So you've had quite a bit of experiences with the motorists and with the police as well.
Yeah.
Like, how many occurrences or instances have you had conversations or interactions with the police?
Oh, God, I don't know. I've been here for, like I said, I've been here for going on 9 years.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, we just had one today, and, it seems to go in waves, it'll be calm for a while, and then all of a sudden, bam, 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 bam. Yeah. But we've had plenty. And it's always a repeat of the same thing. You don't have a right to be on the road. You can't be on the road. We do have a right to be on the road. It's by law. We have a constitutional right to move in this country the same as anybody in an automobile. And the public thoroughfare, these public roads, are the only means by which to do it. There is no other means. There was a fence right behind you forbidding us to go any other way except that road. Yeah.
So when you run into the challenges, because I looked at your website and it looks like you opened up a case against the CHP, I believe it was, because you had some pretty big interactions. Well, looks like you got arrested even. How did you handle that? And how did you get the mules back out of impound? How did that all work?
Well, we were walking in the Paso Robles area, road similar to this, and we were, highway patrol pulled, the motorists were complaining that we were a hazard, of course, and we were going to cause an accident. So the CHP shows up and tells us we can't be on the road. And I immediately started asserting my right. We can be on the road. It's the law. We have the same right to be on the road as the automobile. And he says, no, you can't be on the road. And he says, if I come back and find you on the road, I'm going to arrest you. Well, in the situation we were in, there were steep banks on both sides of the road. The shoulder was no more than that. And we were over to the bank as far as we could go. And unless we could hire a helicopter to take us out of there, we were going to have to walk on the road. And so he left, and we proceeded to walk on the road. And we got down the road a quarter of a mile or so, and he was there waiting on the side road, and we were arrested.
Wow.
Taken to jail, and the mules were impounded. And I was in there for about 24 hours. And I was thrown in a cold, freezing cold cell. They had the air conditioning turned up big time. Nothing more than a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. And I was left in there for, must have been 4 hours anyway. And then I was taken out to be booked, and I asked for a blanket. They gave me one, and they threw me back in the cell. And I was in there for about 24 hours. And then I was released. They put $5,000 bail on me originally. Can you imagine that? $5,000
That's crazy.
Bail. And but it didn't hold. I didn't stick. And they had to let me out on my own recognizance. And so I was out in about 24 hours. And then I went through the procedures of getting my mules back. I had to pay $266 for an overnight stay for the mules. And we're suing to get that back, of course.
Yeah. So that's like one pretty big occurrence that you almost lost your mules. Good thing you got them back.
Yep.
Now, that was what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago that happened?
I was arrested on January 23rd, 2020.
Oh, so that was almost over a year ago now.
Yeah.
Okay. Paso Robles, that's a good amount of ways away. So if you were arrested over a year ago, how many miles are you covering in a day?
Oh, we probably average about 10 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 300 a day. You did.
But we spend, because we have so much support now, we have a lot of opportunity to stop at people's back and stay in their backyards or on their property. And we'll stay for a couple of days.
Okay.
So we're not traveling every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose in closing out here for today, I noticed you don't have a campfire here. How often do you get a campfire, or do you do campfires?
Factory zero. Yeah, I got a stove.
Okay.
I got a little one-burner stove and a pressure cooker, and I cook all my meals. And I really enjoy doing that. See where I make a little kind of circle with my boxes, and I just kind of get on my knees and fix my dinner, and it's very enjoyable.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
So, like basic necessities or basic creature comforts that most people have today, shower, bathroom, hot food, this and that. I mean, I already see you got hot food because you got a stove, but how do you handle all the other stuff?
Well, I got a water bucket which I use to water my mules, and I fill that bucket up, and I can wash my hair and my face and wash my feet. Pretty much give myself a pretty good bath that way. And then, of course, when somebody invites us to stay on their property, they always invite us to have a shower. So
that's nice.
Yeah. So we stay clean enough.
That's good. That's good. So another question comes to mind is, would you consider yourself homeless, or what would you consider yourself?
Well, no, I'm not homeless. The earth is our home. This, where we're at right now, wherever we find ourselves, wherever our feet are setting is our home until we move, and then that's wherever next is our home. We see homelessness as people that want that way of life. See, we don't want that way of life. We see homelessness as people that have lived that life. They want to live that way, but through misfortune or whatever, they find themselves outside. And if they had the opportunity, they would get back inside. That's not the case with us. Give us $1 million, I'm not going to change.
You'd still be out and about doing what you're doing?
Nothing would change. With $1 million, nothing would change.
Wow.
Yeah. I can honestly say that. Nothing would change.
That's fascinating that you're so hard set, or have such a strong foundation in what you want to be doing.
Well, I'm anchored to the outside.
How did you get that anchor?
Everything I need. It's just, I've been that way since I was a little kid. Yeah. It provides me everything I need. I don't need anything else. I don't need what the man-made world has to offer other than the basic necessities, clothes, food, you know, a spoon. Other than that, I don't seek it.
So in closing out, I'm going to ask you one last question. What is the biggest challenge or hurdle that you've had to face since you've started this journey?
I don't know. You know, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy every day, and no matter, even when I find myself in jail, in a strange sort of way, I enjoy it because the spiritual energy that we feel around us, the energy of the people that have lived like this for thousands of years, is with us, and we feel it. We have a sense of it, and it's just kind of a magical thing. And one day leads to the next, and there's not a day we don't enjoy, no matter what happens. When it's over, we're ready to get up the next morning and do it again.
Wow. Well, that's fascinating. Thank you, Mr. Mule, or what was your other nickname that you had?
Monk?
The Monk.
Yep.
So we appreciate your time. Hopefully we'll be able to do another interview in the next coming days while you're down here in San Diego. And good luck on your journey.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.